Hello and welcome to True Guidance Tarot. My name is Adriana Teodoro-Dier. I'm a spiritual medium and intuitive card reader. And today I've got a great message for the water signs. This is for Pisces, Pisces, Scorpio, and Cancer. We'll do the general element reading first, the water reading, and then at the end of the video I will break off and do the individual signs. So again, thank you so much for joining me. I do love to do these for you every week. It's my joy to serve as the channel to bring you the messages that are really helpful to you in this moment, because I know if you're on this channel right now, there's a reason for you to be here. I also wanted to offer you something really different that I don't usually talk about on this channel. One day I was meditating and I was really inspired to do artwork based on the zodiac signs. And so I'll show you a couple. This is Gemini, so you see very bright and enthusiastic. And this one here is Scorpio. I couldn't remember which way the right way up was. So it's very much a celebration of the signs. Now, the reason why I'm mentioning this to you is because I am holding a sale right now of these pieces. They are usually $90 each, but for you, they are $44. And if you would like to look at the whole collection, please visit my website, trueguidancetarot.com. Go to offerings and you'll see the sale. I'll also have a link in the description below. So, all right, enough about artwork and other fun things. Let's get straight to your reading, because really I'm very, very excited for all of you this week. The energy around you is the Page of Cups. Now, this is great. Cups are water, so you're going to feel very at home in the energy this week. It's going to feel just very comfortable for you. And I'm excited because your intuition is going to be running pretty high. And that means that there's going to be a message coming for you. Pages usually mean messages, and so there's a message coming for you from your intuition. And why I'm so excited about that is because you respond to this energy with the Ace of Wands. And that means you are ready to take action on the message you get from yourself. So this is, sometimes the Ace of Wands can refer to work, but it can also refer to creativity and passion, because it's your heart, what makes your heart sing. So what I'm feeling from the cards is that not only do you get the intuition, which tells us this is the right timing, but you also have the confidence and the desire to follow through on your action and get done what your intuition is telling you to do. And that's really what we have in your advice. We've got the Five of Pentacles off this way and everything else moving off this way. Two of Wands going into the Lovers. Now, this Five of Pentacles here, which the majority of the spread is turned away from, that's really important. This Five of Pentacles is that self-doubt, that feeling that you're not enough. So in the past, this is the thing that kept you from acting on your intuition. You know, you get that feeling, that spark, and your heart starts to surge, and then immediately your mind comes in and says, nope, we can't do that. I'm not enough, or I don't know how, or I'm not sure how to get this done. I don't have enough. But you're moving away from that. In fact, because you're so inspired by this card here, you're looking to the future. How do I get this done? I'm ready to take the next practical step. And the Lovers are here to just remind you that you need to make sure you're choosing something that, how do you guys want me to say this? They're just wanting you to remember that you're choosing in the direction of your heart. So don't get too caught up in the practical stuff. How do I get this done? All the little tiny little details. Just keep following that path of the heart, and things are just going to keep opening and opening and opening for you. This is also a warning not to be swayed by temptation. So sometimes when we start on something new, we hit a roadblock and then we want to give up, right? And so the temptation refers to shortcuts. You're going to be tempted to maybe take a shortcut to make it easier. And they're saying, don't do that. Watch out for that, because the longer path, even though it seems harder, will actually bring you your rewards faster. Okay, so let's go to our individual readings now. And we're doing Scorpio first, they just told me. 4 cards for Scorpio. Okay, top 3 and bottom 1. All right, guys. So we've got the idea, we've got a couple cards that talk about journeys, but for you, this is not a journey that it could happen easily, but you're getting in your way. That's what I'll say. So we've got the Four of Cups, the Three of Wands, the Eight of Swords, and the Eight of Pentacles. So what this says to me is that you have been doing that introspection and you know it's time to move forward and you're ready to get yourself going. You're ready to take that next step where you're taking action in the world rather than just getting lost in those thoughts and emotions. But you really are getting in your own way. Your thoughts are coming up with all sorts of holdups, with all sorts of distractions is the word that is coming through. And it's because some of you are just unwilling to move forward from that place. You're very comfortable here. The looking down into the water, the looking down into yourself, the doing all the work inside, but to actually bring that into the outside world, to put yourself out there, to do something scary and a little bit unknown, that is not enticing to you. You would rather stay safe where you can be inside and look inside. But what's being asked is that you trust, and with each step that you take forward towards the light, towards the sun, and I'm not talking about turn towards the light, I'm talking about walk towards that spotlight, walk towards that place where everyone can see you and your message, because you're really getting yourself stuck in your head. You're really getting yourself stuck in the what do I call it? Like the mechanism of making this happen. You're coming up with worries, you're coming up with reasons, you're coming up with, well, maybe this won't be as good as I think it is. Or maybe, the last time I tried this, it didn't quite work out. You're coming up with all sorts of excuses not to take that step forward. And I understand this card here, the Three of Wands, is a perfect card for you. She's standing on a bridge and there's no steps in front of her. So every time she takes a step, the bridge magically appears, but she has to have total trust and faith because she's above, looks like the Grand Canyon, a big gorge. So she's on the bridge of what she knows. She's walking into the unknown, and she's on that piece right between. It's kind of like the beginning of the year where you look into the new year and behind you is the old year. So you're right there, and I get that's a scary place. But really watch out for those thoughts. Really watch out for those repetitive behavior patterns that are habitual, that are familiar. Those are not your friends this week, because what is your friend is the unknown. So I know that's scary, but there's a reason, again, why your soul is ready for you to step out. Okay, sorry, that's not a very comforting message. But Scorpios, if you're leaving us right now, goodbye. Please like and subscribe if you feel compelled to. And I look forward to seeing you next week. Let's get on with Cancer. And they're saying top 3. Okay. Oh my, Cancers. Cancers, what are we doing here? Okay, we've got Three of Swords, we've got Hierophant, and we've got the Nine of Swords. Now, if you're not a tarot card reader, or if you are, even just looking at these images, we're kind of like, wait a minute, what's going on? We've got swords going through here, we've got a nightmare going on here, and then we've got this weird grounded figure in the middle. So remember, in the beginning of the reading, I talked about that the doubt was in the past and that you're turning forward. There must be a few of you that are not quite turning forward yet, and your soul is calling you to turn forward. But this is telling me that you need a little bit of extra support and a little bit more boost of confidence, because you're not ready to take, you think you're not ready to take that step forward. And part of you is just scared to take the step forward because you're afraid it's going to be the same result as in the past. And it didn't, maybe when you followed your heart, when you followed your creative vision, maybe it didn't work out the way you wanted it to work out. And that's our Three of Swords here, saying, well, wait a second, I'm not betraying myself again. I wanted success, I wanted things to work, and it didn't quite work. And so you're really reluctant to step out again. Now, the Hierophant is there saying, well, that was the old you. That was the old self. That was the self that you were in the past. I can't say that enough. Past, past, past. Cancers love to look back to the past. And this may not be you, but it's in the energy of your sign to look back to the past because it's the ties to the family, it's the ties to the mother, it's the ties to lineage and heritage. So you're always looking back, and right now you're looking back at that old version of yourself and you're saying, ah, no, because I didn't have a good result and then I felt betrayed, I felt hurt, I put so much into that project and it didn't work out. I am not doing this again. But this is the interesting card. You're feeling the Nine of Swords because, which is anxiety. It's actually funny in your case because this is usually the card of anxiety and worry. But why are you worried? Because you know that this is the right time for you to do this. You know this is the time for you to fly. And you know that from what you learned in the past, you've become stronger, you've become smarter, you've become cleverer, and you're not going to be blindsided by those things that took you so off guard. I'm getting this feeling that some of you were so trusting in the past, especially of other people, trusting of other people to show up when you needed them, to show up when you asked them for help, and maybe they didn't come through. And maybe they didn't come through in a big way. And so because of that, you've learned and you've become stronger, you've become fiercer, you've become more wise. And that's why you've got the Nine of Swords. You've got the Nine of Swords because you know it's actually right for you to fly. But again, that old self is saying, but we can't, but we can't, but we can't. We'll get hurt like last time. So I'm here to just support you in that this is your thoughts talking. And your thoughts are so strong and so resistant right now because the call from your intuition and from your soul is equally as strong. In fact, it's so strong that your ego self is terrified. It's never been so strong. That inner light, that inner soul has never been so strong. In the past, the ego has been able to like, oh yeah, I can take that. Down you go, back down to the depths. But this time it's rising up and it's so bright and so warm. Your ego's like, oh. So it's just kind of like Custer's last stand here. So when they come up, acknowledge them. They are part of you, but they not are you. They are not you. They are part of you. They are not you. And they're not you anymore. So let them come up, but let them go because you've got things to do. It would be nice if I could actually speak coherent sentences, right? Okay, Pisces, thank you for your patience. Cancer, we'll see you later. Okay, 4 cards for Pisces. All right, so a lot of introspection going on with you. And okay. So we've got the 2 of Pentacles kind of going off in his own world, Judgment going into the 9 of Cups, but then going into the 8 of Cups. So I'm going to put him down for a second. There's something about your past that used to bring you joy, that used to bring you pleasure, that used to make you feel good, and it hasn't been working anymore. It really hasn't been working and you're ready to just let it go. Now, this could be a relationship. It could be a behavior. So going for some kind of, I don't want to be alarmist here, but some kind of addictive pattern. So something that it's not necessarily good for you, but you do it anyway. It's not in this deck, but in the traditional deck, this card is sometimes associated with drunkenness. So that's a vice. So I'm talking about something from the past that just doesn't really work for you anymore. And again, it used to make you feel good, used to give you pleasure, but not working. And you're in the 8 of Cups stage, which is like, you know what? It's just not making me happy. I don't know why. And I don't really know what the answer is, but I can't keep doing this anymore. And you're ready to leave it. And then we come to the juggling, and the juggling is walking all away from this. And by juggling, I mean the 2 of Pentacles. So this is talking about getting your feet back on the ground and figuring out really what it is that you want, because part of you is ready to let go of this, but part of you is also teetering. I say this because the Judgment is a 20, this is a 2. So it's like choosing between 1, 2, or another. And I think part of the reason why you're pulled to this behavior is because it's a social behavior. It's a communal behavior, and it's especially something that your friend or your partner might be indulging in. This might even be something as innocent, although it's not so innocent, as gossip. So it's something that you do in a pair. So this is asking you to look at this and rebalance this, because the way you are behaving in this pair isn't really helping you, and it's not really helping the partnership either. This is kind of keeping it stuck. You see, it's not quite helping you move forward. It's keeping everything in the same place. He has to stay still so that he can keep juggling his pentacles around. And I'm also seeing the glyph for... but that's the glyph for Cancer. Well, they're showing it to me anyway. So Pisces is the 2 fish, right? So that means 1 fish is on the earth plane, and 1 fish is in the spiritual realm. And that's also part of the problem here, is that this vice or this negative behavior is keeping you tied to the earth, and you're not able to merge your divinity with your earthly self. You don't have that flow going that's possible for you, and that's why you find yourself stuck here. So to kind of summarize, that instinct that this is the time to let this vice go is correct. Follow through with it, but understand that there's a bigger spiritual purpose behind your letting go of this vice. It's allowing your higher and lower self to finally come back together, whereas you've been holding them apart. Some of that vice is to escape from the higher self, because the higher self tells you things that you maybe don't want to hear, especially about other people. And so part of that vice is to turn it off. And you're being asked to clarify. You're being asked to sober up. You're being asked to let this thing be as it is and not run away from it. Okay, so if you've got questions about that, please reach out in the comments. And that about wraps us up for the week. Thank you again for joining me. I do really love to see you every week, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Have a good one.